well. Good afternoon, everybody. Idul Fitri to our Muslim brethren. We hope you're enjoying your day. I hope you're enjoying the festivities. So today we just want to have fun. I just want to have fun. We have a good show today. We are going to have an amazing show. It's all about you. It's not about me. In fact, let me see whether I can allow fans to on and give their views on this. Because today we have a very interesting thing we want to do. We want to play a game. So basically, the assumption is Manchester United have 300 million pounds to spend in the summer. We know a couple of players have been linked to United. We know a couple of names have been mentioned, expensive ones, less expensive ones, and we just we just need we just need to think through. Example, with 300 million, who do I buy and who about? So I have a list of names based on the transfer news. I've created a bit of a platform with Google Sheets, more or less like a shopping list. You see how, for example, in FPL, you have 100 million to spend, then you select the players to spend based on the budget. So today we are going to play a game where United have 300 million. The assumption is United have 300 million to spend on players. So you as the fans, myself as well, we discuss based on that budget and the list of names with the transfer amounts that have been mentioned, not official anyway, because clubs can decide to ask for more. But I've listed the amounts that we are seeing online. So as a fan, what will you do? If you are the one handling transfers at United, if you are the head coach, if you are Jason Wilcox, what would you do? So today I just want us to have that fun, to have fun. And I don't know what's happening to my system because it's saying your system is under heavy load. Try turning off screen preloading, removing unnecessary scenes. Okay. So let me remove this. Which other one can I remove? Let me remove this. Let's see. Let's see whether that improves. So I came up with somewhat of a script, a Google Sheet script that will help you us come up with like, let's say, a transfer budget as well as a list of the players we would buy or you would buy with a 300 million budget. But before we go into that, Kobe Mainu has been, there's some breaking news. Kobe Mainu has been listed or has been included in the English squad for the upcoming friendlies. And it's a good thing. He deserves the spot. He's been performing well. And it looked like he wouldn't be able to get into that England lineup. But it's good to see Kobe Mainu being there. We are happy for him. We hope that he continues improving. We hope that also, as we are discussing or as we are playing this game about transfers, the players that United sign will help him to become a better player. He's still young. He's early 20s, 20-year-old. He hasn't gotten to his prime and he's already performing well. So big up Kobe Mainu. That's good stuff. And among the players that have been listed or have been selected by Thomas Tuchel, we are going to mention them as we are playing this game. This is Elliot Anderson has been included in that list as well. And who knows, probably we'll be playing with Kobe Mainu at Manchester United. So as we go through this, the screen is split. Yeah, you see, I put an overlay. Let me just have it down below here because this is a screen grab. The Monk doll that is on TikTok. This is a screen grab of what is on YouTube. And I'm using StreamYard to stream on YouTube. And I wanted to share the same screen on TikTok. So TikTok cannot allow me, let me just have the full camera. TikTok cannot allow me to just have a screen grab without having a camera on. So that's why I have a split screen. Let me just remove it. Seems it's distracting. So let me share this screen so that we start having fun. It's Friday afternoon. It's a public holiday. There's nothing much to do. So I decided, let's just have some fun. Why not? Why not? Let's just let me now change screen. Ooh, please don't fail me. Please don't fail me. What's going on? Come on. There you go. At least it's working now. So, guys on TikTok, I'm sure the screen is quite small. So feel free to jump over to YouTube. YouTube, you'll be able to see the full sheet. So here I just created something, a list of targets, all names. Oh, this one should be center back. It's not, this should be center back. It shouldn't be wingers. So when you look at that screen, these are all the names that have been mentioned when it comes to transfers to Manchester United, and the reported fee, the amount that they would go for, or the clubs will sell them for. And we have a transfer budget of 300 million. So this is the game. You select the players, and then we see based on the budget whether it will be enough to buy those players. So that's the game today. Today the game is interactive. So get involved in the comment section. Let me see whether I can share a link to join the call. Although I'm scared. I'm scared because the screen or the PC says it's overloaded. But let's just let me just remove some of the resources. So just get involved in the comment section. Basically, based on that list, who would you buy? And then as I select, post on the comment section the players you would want to buy with that 300 million budget. And the assumption is the budget is set at 300 million. The assumption is that United will have 300 million based on the player sales as well as Champions League revenue. We know that United are pushing for Champions League. So the budget might be around 200 to 300. So I said, let me go for the highest fee around 300. The fees are based on media reports and estimates. So some of the fees I got there, some of the reported fees you're seeing there, the fees come from transfer market as well as media reports. So they are not set on stone that's the amount. For example, Carlos Baleba recently, the reports are coming out that it's no longer 100 million, it's 70 million. So I stated 70 million. For example, Hayden Hackney at Middlesbrough, 30 million, but the club might decide to ask 50 million for him. You look at, for example, Anthony Gordon, the transfer market state that he's 50 million pounds, but Newcastle might decide to sell him for more, 60, 70, 80 million. So the assumption here is the fees are based on media reports and estimates from a website or sources like Transfer Market. There are no confirmed deals, so this is just all speculation. As you see, summer transfer targets 2026. The fees may vary, as I've mentioned, due to add-ons and negotiations. Wages and agent fees are excluded. This is just a transfer fee. And then the model assumes PSR and FFP compliance. So we won't worry about PSR and FFP or SCR rules. So this is just a simple game. You have a 300 million budget. You have a list of players there. Your job as fans, including myself, is to select who will you buy with that amount. So the major targets that have been in reports online are midfield targets, left wingers, left backs, and center backs. So in the midfield, among the midfield targets, you have Elliot Anderson, Adam Morton, Carlos Baleba, Alex Scott, Angelo Stiller, Bruno Guimaraes, which the news have been quite a lot recently. Sandro Tonali, Ederson, Joe Gomez, Hayden Hackney, and Tyler Adams. And then in the left wing or attacking roles, there is Anthony Gordon, Yan Diamonde, Morgan Rogers. Left backs, Anthony Robinson, the Fulham left back, Alejandro Balde. And then center backs, the news that came out last night or yesterday was Nathan Collins, that United are interested in Nathan Collins. So I want you to get involved. I'm already seeing a couple of guys. For example, Wayne. Let's start with Wayne. Wayne says Tonali, Anderson, and Livramento, but Livramento is not on the list. So you have to select players on the list. You have to, yeah. So Wayne, your second comment, good. So in your second comment, you say Tonali, Anderson, and Rogers. So let's see. Let's see how that goes. So get involved in the comment section as Wayne. So Wayne says, let me pull up the comment, Tonali. So he selects Tonali. Who else? Tonali, Anderson, Rogers. So he has selected Tonali, Elliot Anderson, and Morgan Rogers. So based on Wayne's selection, I don't know whether you guys can see it on the screen, especially guys on TikTok. Just let me know whether it's legible because TikTok squeezes it. So based on Wayne's selection, Elliot Anderson, Sandro Tonali, Morgan Rogers, Wayne will have spent 280 million, leaving 20 million in terms of the transfer budget. Not a bad selection. Not a bad selection, to be honest. Not a bad selection. Because it's 100 for Anderson, 100 for Tonali, and 80 million for Morgan Rogers. So that leaves 20. So Wayne has focused on midfield. That is the two pivots and a left winger. So that's Wayne's selection. I think that's a good selection, Wayne. Aren't we in for a right back? I tried to look for news, the Mankdoll. I tried to look for news regarding all transfer targets. So what I did was to get the ones that have been mentioned a lot. If I saw a player has been mentioned once or twice, I just leave it. So the list you're seeing here is a list of players who've been continuously mentioned as transfer targets for United. So I didn't have a right back there. Sorry. I just went with what's been going on online and also looking at tier 1 news, tier 2, tier 3, as well as major journalists, major news outlets that have mentioned these names. So I didn't see concrete reports on right backs. But most of the reports, as you see there, are midfield targets, a left winger and a left back, and a center back because Maguire is leaving. And we don't know whether Martinez will be there. So, Wayne, I think that's a good selection. Honestly, I think that's a good selection. You've gone for two midfielders and a left winger. So you've gone for Elliot Anderson, Tonali, and Morgan Rogers. And you still have balance. You still have 20 million. So, Wayne, just to ask in the comment section, what will you do with that remaining 20 million? What will you do? Do you add 5 million, go for Anthony Robinson? What will you do, Wayne? So, guys, get involved. Also, share the stream. Get involved in the comment section. Share the stream. Let's have fun today. So that's Wayne's selection. So I tried thinking about this, and I had a difficult time with who I would want. I'll be honest with you guys. I had a really, really difficult time with who I would want. So just to mention my selection, I would go for Carlos Baleba. I would go for Bruno Guimaraes. I have already spent 140 million. And then I would go for Yan Diamonde. I have 73 million remaining. And then I would go for Anthony Robinson. And that leaves me with around 48 million. So with that 48 million, I will go back to midfield and I would select either Hayden Hackney or Ederson from Atalanta. But Ederson, it means I'll have a -2. So I would just go for Hayden Hackney and I have a balance of 18 million. So that will be my selection if I was asked to buy players with 300 million budget. So I'll go for Carlos Baleba. I know a lot of guys have written him off because of his recent form, but I still believe he's a good player. He's still young, 23, hasn't reached his prime. He can play a CDM, he can play box to box. I'd still go for him. I'll also go for Bruno Guimaraes because Bruno Guimaraes will be a perfect fit for a perfect replacement for Casemiro. And then Hayden Hackney, I would also go for him because he can play a CM, he can play a CAM, and he can become a good replacement for either Casemiro or Bruno as well. He can play both roles, a CAM and a CM. Yan Diamonde, I would go for that left wing option. Yes, I know Cunha is there. Cunha plays in that position, but it's also good to have competition. And he's a young, exciting winger. And United need good wing options. Players that not only can come off the bench, but can start and score a couple of goals. And then I would go for a left back. I would go for Anthony Robinson because Luke Shaw, I would start facing out Luke Shaw straight away. I would start just looking at a way to face him out and then have a young left back, Anthony Robinson, competing with Diego Leon as well as Dogu. And we know Dogu can play right wing, left back, can play right back, can play left wing, can play right wing. So it's a good asset to have. And then Anthony Robinson being a specialist left back and the way he plays, I would go for him. And based on the reports, he's a cheap buy, 25 million. And I've bought five players with 300 million. And I still have 18 million. So with that 18 million, I can decide to go for under 21s. So that will be my selection. I don't know what you guys think about it. Let me know in the comment section. Let's just have fun today. Today we're just having fun. Nothing serious. We're just playing around with numbers and transfers. So that will be my selection. Baleba, Guimaraes, Hayden Hackney, Yan Diamonde, and Anthony Robinson. So, and I still have 18 million to spend. I still have 18 million. 5 players for 282. Not bad. Not bad. So yeah, I'm still waiting for you guys to let me know in the comment section. Who would you go for? Let me clear my list. Today it's about you, all about you. We are going to have a game. We've started with Wayne. Wayne has given his selection, and Wayne is saying, I think Bruno Guimaraes is old, to be honest. He's 28. He's at his prime. 28, he can still give you 5 good seasons. Bought Casemiro at 30. And for 3-4 seasons, he's given us some good time. So at 28, to me, it's not old. He's at his prime. And United right now do need experienced players, PL experienced players. And you need someone who can come in and play straight away and not take a lot of time. So for me, Wayne, I would say 28 is not really old. 28 years old is not really. And he's at his prime. So he can play until he's 32. So if you buy him at 28, play him until he's 33, you still gotten 4 to 5 seasons out of him. And as he's playing, you have other young players, for example, like a Baleba or a Hayden Hackney that can shadow him, So, yeah, the problem with Diamonde, he might end up like Sancho deal, but Tonali is a much better option than Guimaraes. I agree with you. Tonali, I also think he's a good deal. But looking at Tonali, the reason as to why I didn't go for Tonali is because he's more of a box-to-box, and we already have Kobe Mainu, and United just need a strong defensive midfielder. So I've seen guys saying let Elliot Anderson play with Kobe, but Elliot Anderson is not really a CDM. He's more like Kobe. He's more of a box-to-box based on the profile. But I understand what you're saying, man, in terms of Tonali. But for me, I'd seek Guimaraes first, get a specialist CDM first, because that's what United have been missing, and United need to replace Casemiro. If you can get both, so let me see. If I go, let's say, 70, then who else will I go for? You've said that Yandi Amonde might end up being like Sancho. So let's say Rogers. We pick Rogers, 250. We still have 50 to spend. So for 50, you can even go for a left back like Anthony Robinson, and you still have 25 to spend. You still have 25. So either way, it's a good deal. It's a good deal. If you can get Guimaraes, Tonali, Rogers, Anthony, 4 players at 275 million, it's still a good deal. Still a very, very, very good deal. Still a very, very good deal. Real Baba, you're saying, what's happening to my screen? You're saying, but I see your Baleba is fine. You have seen his AFCON games. Yeah, Baleba is good. It's just that poor run of form. But he's still good. He's still good. And recently he's looked a bit stable. And of course, you have to question. You have to question, for example, if you are linked with United and your form goes off, you get off form because you are linked with a club. What happens when you play for the club and your performances are not good? The media is on your case, the fans are on your case. How would you manage pressure? But for me, still a young player, 23 years old. He hasn't gotten to his prime, because midfielders get to their prime at 26, 27, 28. He's athletic, he can run, he can defend, he can shoot, he can dribble, he carries the ball forward. You look at Baleba, he plays the sort of United way we keep saying. United need a player that can run with the ball forward, a player that can dribble past players, bomb forward, create some excitement. What I wouldn't want at United is another boring midfielder that just pings the ball left, right, and center. Sometimes we need that entertainment value. The United way is playing entertaining, attacking football, and Baleba fits that bill. And reports state that United rate him highly, actually. United rate him high. They still rate him highly. And with reports that Brighton might reduce the fee to 70, why not? Why not? Haruna, hello to you too. Yeah, we've mentioned about Kobe being called by Tuchel. And guys, we are playing a game. So as you see that screen, I want you to select players based off a 300 million budget. So I want you to go in the comment section. I want you to type based on the selection you see. Midfielders, left winger, left backs, center backs. The players you would buy for 300 million. You have a 300 million budget. You have a shopping list. Select the players in the comment section. I'll add them, then we see whether that amount will be enough. So Wayne has done his, I've done mine. Wayne, I think, had around 25 million transfer budget remaining. With 25, you could even go for one more player or academy players under 21s. With my budget, I went for 5 players and still had 18 million to spend, which means I can get another player for like 10 million, 15 million. So guys, let me know. We're just having fun. It's a Friday afternoon, nothing much to do. We are waiting for the game in the evening. So yeah, let me know your selection. And KC Reacts, big up for gifting. We had a target, a live goal of gifts. I can't even remember how I set it. I think I was fiddling around, and I'm seeing I have a live goal. I don't think it will even open, but anyway. Yeah, so Haruna, that's it. That's what we are discussing today. So Haruna, let me know. Guys, let me know who you will select. Let me know who you will select. Oh, I actually set a live goal. 10 roses, 1 Heart Me. So the Heart Me has been accomplished by KC. Big up KC Reacts. We'll be with him this evening for the watch along. Big up KC. And Casey has also given us 2 roses. I think I was just playing around with TikTok. I set the live goal. Anyway, yeah. So let me see whether there are any other. Come on, guys. Let's participate. Let's participate in this. Let's have fun. Who will you select based on that list? So the midfield targets: Anderson, Adam Morton, Carlos Baleba, Alex Scott, Angelo Stila, Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali, Ederson, Joe Gomez, Hayden Hackney, Tyler Adams. Those are the midfield targets. Left wingers: Anthony Gordon, Yandy Amonde, Morgan Rogers. And then left backs is Anthony Robinson, Alejandro Balde. And then center backs, I only saw one, that is Nathan Collins. And you look at that amount, 300 million is a lot of money. 300 million is a lot of money looking at the reported fee. You could get a lot of players. So, for example, Haruna, you're saying, yeah, thanks, Haruna. Big up, big up. You're saying you would go for Tonali. Hulman is not there. Hulman is not there. So select someone else. I didn't add Hulman because the reports are not so concrete. So the names you're seeing there are players that have had a lot of noise around them. So the game is select the players on that list. That's the rule. That's the rule, Haruna. Dave, you're asking, UKG, do you think we could raid Newcastle that much? Yes. In fact, let me see. How many Newcastle players are there? 3 of them. So let's see if Haruna, I'm waiting for you to change that name, Holman. Give me someone else on that list. Then we see what your budget will look like. Dave, let's see how your budget will look like if United raid Newcastle. So United go Guimaraes, Tonali, and Anthony Gordon. 220 million. I don't think Newcastle can refuse that much. Dave, 220 million for 3 of their players. Can they really reject that? I don't think they can. Or even let's say 250. If you spend 250, you'll still have 50 million to spend. So for 50 million, you can even go for Anthony Robinson and Nathan Collins, and you still have 25 million left. So those are 5 players, 3 from Newcastle and 2 more. That is a left back and a center back. And you still have 25 million. So with 25, is there any other player at 25? No. Because Alex Scott is 35, Hayden Hackney is 30, Tyler Adams is 30. Yeah, so Dave, yeah, I would go for them. and still have a lot of money. If I go for the 3 Newcastle players, I'd still have 80 million to spend. The 80 million, you can even decide to go for someone like Adam Wharton. But now you'd have a lot of midfielders there. So 80 million. What will you do? Dave, let me know. With the remaining 80 million, what would you do? What would you do with that? So Haruna, I'm still, oh yeah, your Gomez, Tonali, and Anderson. So Haruna has gone for 3 midfielders. So Joao Gomez, Tonali, and Elliot Anderson. So Haruna, you still have 60 million left. What would you do with that money? So you've selected 3 players costing 240. 140, still have 60. So Haruna, are you going to bank the 60 or are you going to strengthen based on the remaining players? Let me know. Let me know what you will do. Let me do. Newcastle raid maybe Tonali, Hall, and Bruno. Yeah, but Hall is not on the list. Hall is not on the list. So Dave, I've asked you a question. You had a lot of money. So what would you do with that? Haruna, still have 60, man. 60 is a lot of money. 60 you can go for. Let's see who you can go for. 60 you can actually go for Anthony Gordon and still have 10. Or you can go for someone like Eden Hackney and still have 30. Or you can even go for who? Let's see. Anthony Robinson, a fullback, still have 35. So with the 35, who's 35? Alex Scott. So you would have 4 midfielders and 1 left back. And then your 300 million is spent. See, guys, we're having fun with this. We're having fun with this. Yes, let's get involved. We have a list, 300 million to spend. Big man, big up, big man. You're saying Tonali, Baleba, Diouf. But Diouf is not on the list. We are dealing with players on that list. So change Diouf, give me one more player, then we see your budget. So I'll start with Tonali. You said Tonali, and then you said Baleba. Baleba. But Diouf is not on the list. I didn't see a lot of reports on Diouf. I just saw interests, but a lot of journalists have not jumped onto it. So this is a list of more or less concrete targets, quote unquote concrete targets. So the one rule I have is select players on that list. Select players on that list. And rule number 2, you have 300 million to spend. So big man, let me know. Other than Diouf, because Diouf is not on the list. This you are in the market. These are the players that you have options. Probably next time I'll add more to the lists. This is just like episode 1 of this game. We'll be having more of this as we approach the transfer window. So let me know, big man. Let me know. Dave, you say I think you've correct. No, Dave, you're saying Tonali, Gomez, Stiller, Robinson, Rogers. Oh, that's a long list. Okay, so let's start. Desire, my good friend, how are you? I'm doing well. Big up. I'm doing well. We're having fun today. Desire, we're having fun today. Today we are shopping. We have 300 million to spend. This is the list of players. So Desire, let me know, who would you buy? Dave, you said Tonali, Gomez. So Tonali, Gomez, Stiller. Let's see, Stiller. And then you go for Robinson. And then you'd go for Rogers. Ooh, that's good one. You still have 15 million. Dave, that's good one. That's a good one. So you have 5 players. Stiller, Tonali, Robinson, Joao Gomez, Rogers. 5 players costing 285, and you still have 15 more. Still have 15 more to spend. Nice one. I like that. I like that a lot. So Dave, as you see the assumptions there, wages and agent fees are excluded. So the 15 million you can spend on another player. Unfortunately, we don't have any other player who's 15 million on the list. But you still have 15, hey? Still have 15. Would you go for, let's say, Dave, let me ask you, will you commit that 15 million on a loan deal? Will you commit that 15 million on a loan deal? Because loan deals are also accepted in this transfer budget. Can you say, can you tell, for example, Barcelona, give us Balde and we'll give you 15 million loan fee? Let me know, Dave. But Dave, I like that list. You've gone for 4 midfielders. No, 3 midfielders. Stiller, Tonali, Joao Gomez. And then you've gone for Rogers, a left winger, and then you've gone for a left back. That's good. That's pretty good. I like that. So let me see who's next. January. Yeah, you can even buy a player in January. Dave, you can buy a player in January. Let's see who else. It's now getting active. I like this. We're having fun, guys. We're having fun. So let me have your list. Desire, you're saying you'd go for Gomez, Rogers, Robinson, Palmer. But Palmer is not on the list. Desire, you have to select players on that list. This list is based off of concrete reports online. So the Palmer one was rubbished straight away. It was rubbished months ago, weeks ago. So Desire, change Palmer to someone else, then I'll have your list. But in the meantime, as you're giving me another name, let me pull up your shopping cart. Desire, let me put up your shopping cart. So Gomez, you are going for Gomez, Robinson, and then you've gone for Rogers as well. So give me the last one because Palmer is not on the list. So based on that, Desire, you'd have 155 million left. You still have 155 million left. So Desire, let me know who you'd go for with the balance, because you've spent 145, you have 155 to go. When you're asking, do you think it will be a good idea to sell Joshua Zaxi? Yes, it will be a good idea. It will be a very, very good idea for me. I'm giving my own opinion. I would sell the players. I would sell, although if they stay, I don't have an issue with them staying. But the players that I would sell is Joshua Zaxi, Ugarte, and who else would I sell? I would also sell Luke Shaw. I would also sell. Let me see who else I would sell in that team. I think those players, Shaw, Ugarte, and Joshua Zaxi. Because for Joshua Zaxi, United can get 20-25 million. Ugarte, they can get 30-35 million. Luke Shaw, they can get 15-20 million. I would sell them. And then now get young players, young exciting players, or experienced players as well. So for example, Mason Mount, I forgot to mention. Mason Mount I would also sell. So for example, Joshua Zaxi, we don't know whether he's a 10 or a 9. We don't know where he fits. So instead of having such kind of a player whose role is not really defined, I will sell Zaxi and then get a number 10 that becomes an understudy to Bruno, or becomes a replacement for Bruno when he leaves the club. So sell Zaxi, get a 10. That when Bruno needs rest, that player can play. Or in some games, Bruno can rest. For example, Carabao games, FA games, the starting phases of those games, Bruno can be rested. Then you have a number 10 coming into play. Bruno sometimes also needs rest. He's aging. He might not perform as constant as we've seen. As you saw nowadays, he's limiting his runs. He started to change how he plays. So get a 10 in place of Zaxi. Ugarte, if I go with that list that I saw before, so whose list was it? There was a very, very good list that had Tonali, had Anderson. Where is that list? Yeah, so let's go with Big Man's list, for example. So he has gone with Baleba, he has gone with Tonali, and then he has gone with Rogers and Gordon. So let's assume we go with that. You spend the 300. The first person to actually spend the entire 300. So well done, Big Man. So if you go with, let's say, Baleba, you go with Tonali, then you don't see where Ugarte would fit. Or let's say United decide to go with this. Let's say United decide to go with Elliot Anderson, they go with Baleba, and they go with Tonali. Let's say they pick those three. Let's say can go to someone like Anthony Robinson. So when you have Tonali, you have Baleba, you have Elliot Anderson, you don't really see where Ugarte would fit. And Ugarte, he's not been good, and he's also been unlucky, because Ugarte, when he came to United, he was signed by the club. Eric Ten Hag did not fancy him. Eric Ten Hag was sacked. Amorim did not fancy him because remember, Amorim sold him from Sporting to PSG. He did not fancy him. Then Carrick now does not fancy him. So instead of having a player who's out of favor, just sell him and then invest that money in getting a third midfielder. I don't think someone like Baleba would really mind sitting on the bench a whole lot at United. You can decide to start Tonali and Anderson. But also, guys, remember, as you're signing the three midfielders, where does that leave players like Kobe Mino? They'll also have to start on the bench. So it's also good to have good squad options. For example, if you're starting Tonali and Anderson, imagine having Baleba and Kobe Mino coming off the bench. Or you're starting Baleba and Kobe Mino, and you have Elliot Anderson and Tonali coming off the bench. Those are good squad options. So for me, I would sell Ugarte and free up that space and money for someone like Tonali or even Guimaraes. Yeah, instead of keeping a player on the bench who's out of favor. And it's like the managers don't trust him. So go for someone solid. Yeah, so Dave, you're saying, is the budget inclusive of the outs? Yes. So the 300 million, as you see the assumption there on the far right, the assumptions are the budget set at 300 million. That is player sales and UCL revenue. So the assumption is you've sold players like Ugarte, you sold players like Zakzi. There are players out on loan like Rashford, Hoyland, Onana. That's the assumption. The assumption is you've collected all that money plus the UCL money plus the other money that United had for transfers. You've combined it and you have a 300 million. Because the reports I saw online is United expect to spend around 250 to 300. 250 to 300 in the summer. So that's where the assumption comes from, Dave. Big man, you've given another list. You're saying Baleba, Tonali, Rogers, Gordon. I think I did that. I think I've done that. So the only problem with Ugarte is he has no defensive awareness near our 18-yard box. I would say yes, but it's out of design. It's out of design. The way United sets up their midfield, it sets the midfield, the two pivots to do everything. It sets up the two midfielders to be everywhere. And the problem with that is Ugarte has not been paired with good players that can play to his strengths and him playing to their strengths. So, for example, you look at how Kobe plays with Casemiro. Casemiro covers a lot of ground. And Casemiro is experienced. He has a knack of reading play before it happens. He intercepts a lot of balls. He's in the right position because he anticipates where the ball will be. Now, Ugarte is a different profile. Ugarte is a destroyer. To him, he just thinks about winning the ball. He's not thinking about positional discipline. He's just thinking about winning the ball back. And when you have a player like Ugarte who thinks about winning the ball back, then it means you have to pair him with someone who has positional awareness. Probably it's something that Ugarte will learn because he's only 23, 24. He's young. So he will learn with time. And my worry is United will sell him. He goes to another club and then we start regretting why we sold Ugarte because Ugarte is in the bracket of an elite CDM. You look at all his stats. You look at his profile, compare it with other CDMs in the world. He's among the top. He's among the top in percentile. I think he's in the 91st percentile for duels, ground duels. He covers a lot of ground. But the way United are set up, you look at how Kobe plays, how Casemiro plays. Kobe does not have that positional awareness to cover in case the next midfielder goes. So Casemiro, that's why you see Casemiro gets tired. In fact, you look at Kobe's heat map, you look at Casemiro's heat map, they are two different. Kobe is the one that's supposed to be box to box. But when you look at his heat map and you look at Casemiro's heat map, they are totally different. The Aston Villa game, Kobe played well with Casemiro because Kobe was identifying. He had that now awareness. In that game, Kobe played well because he had the awareness like Casemiro has gone forward, let me stick back. And then he has the awareness like Casemiro has stuck back, let me go forward. Or Casemiro is on the left, let me not follow him on the left. A couple of times we saw Casemiro and Kobe going to the same side, leaving the midfield unoccupied. Or deep areas, as you say, big man. So Ugarte, he's a destroyer. That guy just thinks about tackling. He thinks about winning the ball back. So pair him with someone who can actually communicate with him or identify and see this guy has gone to press, this guy has gone to tackle. Let me stick in the middle. Also Ugarte needs someone who will assist him when he wins the ball. Ugarte is not good at passing. He's among the lowest in terms of percentile. So pair him with someone like Baleba who can carry the ball forward, or Elliot Anderson, or even Wharton or Tonali, guys who can pick the ball, run with it, pass. Then you have a very strong pairing. The games that Casemiro and Ugarte have played together, you'll notice that defensively United were a bit solid, but at the same time, ball progression was not there because both of them think about tackling. Both of them think about winning the ball. They are not really so much in progressive passing. So it's a mix. You have to find the right mix. So as much as United want to sign these players, my worry is they don't go for names just for the sake of it. They go for the right profiles. Like they know one is a specialist CDM, the other one is a specialist box to box. That is the right mix. You look at how City play, they have the right mix. You also look at even how Arsenal play, they have the right mix of midfielders. You look at Newcastle, that partnership, the midfield three works well because they know someone like Guimaraes is the tackler, and then they know what's his name? They know Tonali and the other player. Why am I forgetting his name? They know that both of them are box to box. They can run as well as tackle. Because Tonali is not really a CDM. Tonali is a box to box. He's not really a CDM. Yes, he can do the CDM job when required, but he's not really a CDM. So I hope, big man, I've answered your question. So guys, the list is still on. The list is still up. I need you guys to select based on the 300 million budget. Who will you buy? Washington, big up Washington. You're saying, hi friend, today the show is amazing. Aren't we invading into Tottenham team for players like Van der Ven and Kudus? Actually, when I was why didn't I pull that up? Sorry, Washington. So actually, when I was researching this list, I saw those names. I saw Van der Ven, but there were other reports stating that it's just agent talk. Agents are looking at selling their players because Tottenham are in danger of being relegated. And Tottenham won't play in the Europa League, Conference League, or Champions League. So the players are not happy with the board. The players are not happy with the coaches, and the players are not happy with the head coach. So sometimes agents will push that narrative, will push that brief that the player is seeking a move away. And one of the best ways to get interest is to mention United when it comes to transfers. You'll notice that most players get linked to United. They don't even end up being of interest by United because United is a big name. Manchester United is a huge name. It's a big name. Once a player has been linked with United, especially now that they know there is a rebuild, the media will pick it up. Other clubs will also become interested. Other clubs will become interested. So most of these transfer links you see, especially from ITK accounts, and that's one of the reasons why I stopped updating my X account with such news, is because I decided, let me do research before I actually speak or I post about a player. In fact, I stopped completely. Even if you go to my X account, the UKG X account, I don't really post news anymore. I just give views and that's it. Because I realized a lot of agents link players to United because they know it will get media traction. The moment a player is linked to United, it will get media traction. The players will get free publicity. So when I looked at Van der Ven, immediately the reports were like, that's just media speak. It's just speculation. And major journalists, tier 1, tier 2, major media houses didn't really pick it up. Most of them just said he's looking to move away from Tottenham. And then part of the report is United might be interested because they are looking for a right back. you know? Yeah. Yeah. So Alele, or is it Alil? Let me call you Alil. You say you would prefer Guimaraes. So yes, you prefer Guimaraes, but you have 300 million to spend, as you see at the top of the shopping cart. So let me know, based on that 300 million, which players will you buy? Which players will you buy? That's the game. For guys who are just joining, the game is simple. You have 300 million to spend. You have a list of players. You have to select from the list of players on that list. Spend the 300 million. So you have 300 million, a list of players, a shopping cart. So which players do you select and how much will you spend? How much will you have remaining? So please don't just mention one name. Give me names and then we'll add. For example, Siwe, you're saying you prefer Guimaraes. So if I add Guimaraes, so basically you spend 70 million, you have 230 remaining. So who will you buy next? You still have 230. So let me know. That's the game today. Today you're just having fun. Nothing serious, just having fun. Of course, a few comments here and there I'll respond to. So Guimaraes is there 70. So who else? Who else would you go for? Who else would you go for? And this is just episode 1. We'll have more of this as we go. We'll have more of this as we go. Let's see. Aswani, you're saying Tonali should be the signing as a box to box and Kobe to play as the holding. Ooh, that's a huge risk. That's a huge risk. That's a very, very huge risk. That's a huge risk. I'm trying to adjust my screen so that I see all comments. Aswani, I will say it's a good thought process. It's a good thought process. But looking at Kobe's profile, playing him as a CDM will be misprofiling him. It's more or less like what happened to McTominay and Fred. McTominay suffered because he was being profiled like a CDM. At one time, he was profiled as a CDM, another time a box-to-box. And we saw when he played as a box-to-box, he actually performed well. He scored a couple of equalizers and winners for United. You look at him at Napoli, he's more or less like a number 10 or a box-to-box. He shifts in between those roles, and you saw how good he was to a point that he was Serie A's MVP. So Kobe is not really. I saw a good analysis by my friend United Talks podcast. He said that Kobe is not really a CAM, he's not really a CM, he's not really a CDM. So it's like he's floating in between roles. For me personally, I say Kobe will be a good 10. For you, you say he will be a good CDM. For someone else, they say he will be a good box-to-box. No one seems to really agree on what Kobe's best role is. There are fans, there are sections of fans that are saying he's a box-to-box. There are other fans who are saying, no, he can be a good CDM like yourself. There are other fans like me who are saying, play him further up the pitch as a 10, he performs well. So my hope and prayer is whoever will be the next manager actually works on Kobe, gives him a defined role so that we can see the best out of him. But so far, His best performances comes to him playing as a box to box higher up the pitch. Don't really ask him to defend because Kobe tracking back is an issue. His tackling is an issue. His athleticism is an issue. So that's why I'm saying it's a risk. It's a risk. If you decide to go Kobe Tonali, then you'd have to work around some things. You really need to sort out a couple of things. So guys, I'm waiting for your list. It's still up there. Who will you sign? Based on that list, who will you sign for 300 million? Yeah, Sue, I agree with you. Kobe is more of an attacking profile. Yeah, he's more of an attacking profile. That's why, in fact, I did a TikTok about it and I got hammered for it. I said, for me, Kobe will be a good 10. But fans, of course, some of them who are short-sighted or near-sighted think about Bruno, but Bruno won't be at the club for long. So, for example, if you go for Elliot Anderson, they go for Bruno Guimaraes and Tonali. Bruno Fernandes will still need someone to bench him, substitute, rest him. So that's why I'm saying I hope and pray the next manager who comes on needs to sort out Kobe, because Kobe is he really does not have a defined role. He's not like Ahmad. Ahmad, we knew his best position is on the right very early on. For example, Eden Heaven, his role, we know that he's a ball carrying defender. Yoro is more of the tackler. So if you look at Eden Heaven and you look at Yoro is more like Vidic. Heaven is more like Ferdinand. You look at Maguire and Martinez. Martinez is the ball carrier. Maguire is really not. Yes, he can do it. He's really good at it. But you look at both profiles, Maguire is very good at being the last man. You look at Martinez, is really good at carrying the ball forward. Yeah. So guys, share your list. Come on. We are not doing a good job sharing. Guys on YouTube, Kick, Facebook, X, Twitch, please get involved in the game. There is a list there. You have 300 million to spend. Who will you select? Let me see whether there are some that I missed. Joe Linton. Yes, Joe Linton is the name I was missing. So you look at how Guimaraes, Joe Linton, and Tonali play. Guimaraes is more of the destroyer. Joe Linton and Tonali are the ball carriers. And that's a very good mix. That's why that Newcastle midfield is very tough to beat. So if United can get that sort of a profile, for me, I would say sign players who will allow Bruno or the next number 10 to do the creative job. They tell the number 10, they tell Bruno, don't worry about defending. Don't worry about losing the ball. You go do your creative stuff. Me and this guy next to me, we will do the donkey work. We will do the dirty job. That's the sort of profiles I would want at United. For example, going for someone like Tonali and Elliot Anderson, that's a right mix. That's a good mix. Or going for someone like Tonali and Guimaraes. Or let's say Carlos Baleba and Elliot Anderson. Something like that. Guys who you know, they will tackle hard, they will progress play, they will allow the number 10 to do their stuff. So, yeah, once again, let me have your lists. Desire saying, but on a serious note, why Anderson moved to City? Well, if you're thinking about winning a trophy and you're thinking about earning money while at it, between United and City, which club will you go for? Desire. Which one will you go for? Which club? Guys, we're quiet. I need suggestions. Haruna, you're saying I would buy a left back like Munoz. Yeah, Munoz is also good. Let me see Munoz. Yeah, actually Munoz was there. Let me add him to the list. Let me add him to the list. One row below. Let me just change this to left slash right. Munoz. Let me check the amount. Let me check the amount. What have I done? So I should copy this. Have it here. Paste format only. Yeah, so let me check how much it would cost. Because Munoz, yes, Munoz has been linked to United. I don't know why I left out the name. Let's see, transfer market. Munoz. Daniel Munoz. Yeah. No, I don't want to subscribe. Let's see. Ooh, can you guys hear the thunder? It's about to rain. Heavy rains are about to come. Heavy rains. I hope power doesn't go out. In Kenya, whenever there is rain, they find a way to shut down power. So he's at 27 million euros. So that should be around 22 million pounds. Yeah. 27 million euros would be around 22 million pounds. Let me check. He can play right back and also center back. He can play right back and center back. So Daniel Munoz. So I've added the name. Also, guys, yeah, let me know which other name to add. I can add names as well, as long as they don't go below the list. As long as I don't have to scroll for you guys. I can also add guys. I can also add guys to the list. For me, I would love Mendes, the PSG left back. I don't see that happening. Shadonal. Oh, I don't see that happening. Mendes from PSG to United. You'd have to offer him crazy money to sign. Oh, and Shadonal, big up. You've gifted us quite a bit. You've gifted us 3 roses and 1 hurt me. Oh, Casey gave us Go Popular, Hurt Me, and Roses. Oof. Thanks, guys. Shadonal, you say you love Angelo Stiller. Yeah. So, based on your love for Stiller, you've only spent 40. You still have 260 more. Who would you like to spend it on? That's my question. Who would you like to spend it on? Just let me know. Desire, you're asking what about Sekukone? Sekukone, he still needs a lot of maturing. He still needs a lot of learning. He still needs to learn, because coming from African football to European football, it becomes very, very different. African football, let's be honest, African football is not as technical as European football. African football is highly technical, highly tactical. So, sorry, European football is highly technical, highly tactical. African football, yes, we do try to have tactical and technical, but it's not at the level of European leagues. It's not. And that's why you find African clubs struggle versus European clubs. If African football was good technically, tactically, we would have a lot of top European clubs, or even most European clubs, having tours in Africa, because the weather is good. The weather is good whenever they have their tours. They will come to Africa and play those friendlies. So Sekou Kone needs to have a lot of maturity in his game. Needs to bulk up. He needs to have good ball handling skills, ball progression, aerial duels, and all that. You remember when he was playing for the under 21s, he got injured and he was playing a good game. And that was just his first year at the club. So he's out on loan. He has impressed out on loan. So he's a player you don't rush into the first team, because also United, the pressure at United, the pressure of playing for United is not the same as playing for Brighton. It's not the same as playing for Brentford. It's not the same as playing for Sunderland. The pressure is very high. The performance required to perform for a club like United is a lot, and patience is not there. Right now, United are fighting for top four. They are fighting for cup games. They are fighting for Premier League against teams that already have experienced, established players. So bringing in Kone without having an experienced head in the team, you're pushing him to fail. You're setting him up to fail. So Sekou Kone can play. He should play. Same to JJ Gabriel. I'm seeing a lot of fans saying JJ Gabriel needs to be given a chance. But giving these young players a chance in a team that does not have established stars, a team that is not settled down, a team that the senior players are not performing well, then you are setting them up to fail. You might have an odd miracle here and there, a sort of Lamine Yamal kind of situation where he comes, he wows the world. But you look at Lamine Yamal, he didn't come and start playing straight away. He didn't come and start playing straight away. He was getting sub games here and there. He was playing the smaller teams against the smaller teams. And then now he became established. So United have had a poor habit recently of bringing on young players at a very young age, burning them out early, giving them a lot of airtime. They get proud. And you look at the senior players, none of them is really assisting them. So Sekou Kone is a good shout, similar to Toby Collier. Toby Collier, for me, I think sending him out on loan this season was a bad mistake. Probably he was sent out on loan, United thinking they would sign Baleba. But Toby Collier is someone who, if this season was at the club, he could have matured a lot, because Toby Collier has played for the 21s. He has played a couple of games for United and he has gone out on loan. So Sekou Kone, for me, give him one more year out on loan. Don't bring him to United next season, because it's still a transitional year. New manager, new players, then bringing in an academy player to that mix. You're setting him up to have a very, very difficult time. So send him out on loan. Let the manager have 1 year. Let the new players have 1 year. By the time you're bringing him in, the team is more settled. Like Max Dorman at Arsenal is performing well because the team is already established and settled. That's it. Rashford came to the team, started performing well because the team was settled and established. So he didn't have the pressure to perform. But if you bring a youngster to this team right now, people expect him to perform a 10 out of 10 or at least a 7 out of 8 performance in every game. And that's a very dangerous situation to bring a player in. Yeah. 80% of the live goal is completed. Goal achieved. Thanks guys. The goal has been achieved. Where is the celebration? Let me look for the celebration. Thank you very much. Thank you guys. The goal has been achieved. Sorry, I didn't know I set it up. And the goal is still going on. Guys, you're too kind. Shadonal. Guys, you're too kind. You're too kind, guys. So I think the game, let's just pause the game there for now. We will be having more of this. Let me see whether we still have one or two guys who've shared their transfer shopping list. And then we just have a chat. Before we end the live. Let me see. No, I think the last person to give his preferred shopping list was big man. So I'm seeing a couple of comments. Let me stop sharing them. Let me stop sharing so that we just have a chat. So let's have a chat. Just chatting now. I even forgot to change the bottom banner. Why did I forget? Anyway, we've had a good chat. So we'll try to have more of these games as we go. Guys on TikTok, don't mind the double camera. The one up top is a screen share. The one up top bottom, the one at the bottom is the actual camera. Because on TikTok, I can't do a screen grab without actually having a camera on. Okay, so let me read some of the comments. I react before we end the live. It's been a good show. It's been a good afternoon. Desire, you're saying I've not seen him playing. Are you referring to Kone? Let me see. Oh yeah, you're referring to Kone. Kone is good. I do watch a couple of academy games. I do watch a couple of academy games. They usually come on Saturdays, Saturday afternoons. And United have very good academy players. For example, someone like Thwaites is good. Kone is good. Actually, that game that he was injured, he was among the best players on the pitch. And to me, that injury, more or less looked like... what happens if I stop sharing this? Yeah, so to me, that injury looked like malice. Of course, there's usually bad luck. But to me, it looked like malice. Let me just close this. TikTok, forcing me to adjust things every other time. So to me, it looked like malice. I don't think the player intended to play the ball, but bad luck happens. Bad luck usually happens, and it happened. Kone is good, similar to JJ Gabriel. All the hype about JJ Gabriel is real. All the hype you see about that young boy is real. That boy is the next big thing. JJ Gabriel is the next big name. If United handle JJ Gabriel, the likes of JJ Gabriel, Chido Obi, Sekou Kone, United will have a very, very good team by 2028. United need to have, you remember me saying about having a settled, established team? United need to have that very, very early so that these young players coming to the team, they can find something that they can build on. They can get that confidence. For example, I enjoy seeing Maguire and Euro playing because Maguire is providing that experience, that leadership to young Euro. And you've seen Euro has actually had good games. He's becoming better and better and better with each game because he has someone experienced playing to him. So Maguire, there are a couple of times I saw Maguire in the Aston Villa game telling Euro, calm down, settle down, take it slow, you're okay, you've done well. When Euro does a tackle, you see Maguire congratulating him. You see Maguire congratulating Lamens, telling him, good job. You see Luke Shaw as well going to Lamens or Euro, telling him, good job. Dalot does it as well. So that's a young player learning off of experienced players. So if you bring in someone like JJ Gabriel, imagine having him with someone like Bruno, someone like Tonali, someone like Guimaraes, someone like Anderson, who can tell him, good job, you've done well. Or even Ahmad. Ahmad tells him, hey, the way you're playing, you're going to bench me. Big up. So I want United to have a settled team, an experienced settled team. The core of the United team is young. One of the things that's affecting Chelsea right now, they don't have experience in their team. They don't have experience. But if you had that Chelsea squad with a couple of experienced players playing there, it will be good. It will be really, really good. So you look at someone like Max Doman, someone like Lamine Yamal. They went there and they found experienced players learning off of them. even during the game, the experienced players can have a word or two with them and tell them, hey, calm down, or hey, you're over dribbling, or next time look for someone, or like I saw Bruno having a discussion with Kobe and he was like pointing. So to me, it's like Bruno was telling Kobe, as much as you have the ball, also try to look, or I wanted you there. That's the sort of setup I would want someone like Kone to come into. So, for example, Kone playing with Casemiro and playing with experienced players around him. So when he gets fidgety or when he gets nervous, the players can go to him and tell him, you're doing well, you're doing well. Just take a breather, you're playing well. But that can only happen when United are settled. They are winning games like right now. So assume next season United are winning. They have like, let's say 13 wins out of 15 games. They are on a run. There is no pressure to perform. There is no pressure to win every game. Then you can bring in such a young lad and tell him, now 60th minute, get in. United are leading 3-0, 4-0. Get in. Have a couple of minutes. And or you tell them, Carabao Cup, you're playing. FA Cup, you're playing. But right now, United, there is a lot of chaos to bring in young players. There is a lot of chaos. Get Shialesi on board. Yeah, Shialesi will have played more games. But now with one game a week, one game every 2 weeks, like United play today, the next game is in 2 weeks. So there are not really much games to give such kind of a player. But Shialesi is also good. As I say, the academy has good players. Shialesi is one of them. Mantato is one of them. Chidobe is also one of them, although he has started making noise that he's not getting games. Aiden Heaven is there sitting on the bench waiting. Yoro is getting his chances. Also, Ahmad is relatively young. 23. He's relatively young. Ugarte, 23. He's also young. So you look at the core of the team. You look at also Dogu. Dogu is young. Sheshko is young. So United are building a very good team. It's just that as fans, we are not as patient to wait. But that team, get 2-3 good players in, get, let's say, 5 players in, because United need, I saw a report saying United will want 8 players. Get such kind of a team within 2-3 seasons. It will be a very, very difficult team to play against. It will be a very, very difficult team to play against. Shadonal, you're saying, I would like us to look for a left winger that's most important. I think United are looking for one. There are reports about Anthony Gordon. There are reports about Rogers. There are reports about Diamonde and a couple of other signings that United are looking at. And I believe United will do what they did last summer. United prioritized signing attackers, and then they went for another position that is a goalkeeper. So I believe United will prioritize midfield targets first, because that's where the priority is. That's where the priority need is. So they'll go to signing midfielders, and then probably they'll look for a left winger, a left back, a center back. Also, United need a number 2 striker, a number 2 goalkeeper. So there are a lot of areas where United need to strengthen, but I believe United want to focus on midfield first, then after that they'll do something else. A couple of other comments before we end the live. Why can't we add Casemiro another 1 year? It's not happening. I'll give you 2 reasons. Let me do something. I need to change that lower third. So I don't think United will sign Casemiro for another 1 year, because the Casemiro fee, in terms of wages, the Casemiro amount, the wages, Casemiro's wages are high. Basically, you're looking at paying 350K a week. And United want to reduce the wage bill because of the new SCR rules. If you guys remember, PSR came to an end, or is coming to an end. and SCR will take effect. So SCR is squad cost ratio. So it's a ratio of the revenue you make versus the expenditure in terms of the squad. And United reducing the wage bill, the wage demands, the payroll basically. They can sign more players. They can spend more on players. So you look at the Casemiro 350k a week. The other day I was saying 350k a week. That's half dog fur on my mic. You look at 350k a week. That's a salary that can pay 3 players, 3 of them, or 2. So assume you sign a player like Baleba. He's not earning 100k at Brighton. You give him 100k, you still have 250k a week to spend. Let's say you buy another player and offer him 150. You have Casemiro's wage sorting out 2 players. You look at United's strategy since summer, it has been about reducing wage bill. You look at Sancho's 325k, or is it 250? I'll check. Let's assume Sancho is on 250. 250 is 250 a week. That's enough money to pay for two player salaries. That's enough to pay 2 player salaries. So I don't think Casemiro will stay. I don't see him staying, simply because United will look at reducing that wage bill as well as replacing him, because Casemiro, we've seen, yes, he's good, but he can't play all games, and United need the funds to fund transfers. They need to buy new players to replace him. So for me, I would say you can keep him for 1 year, but if it's down to money, right now United are struggling for cash, then there is no point of keeping him. There's no point of keeping him. Let's see. I think I missed a couple of comments. Asonia saying Tonali should be the signing as a box to box. I think I read that. Desire, you asked about what about Human from Sporting Lisbon. He's also a good player. United can sign him. There are reports that United are linked with him, are interested with him. But according to reports, according to also the research I've done, United want to prioritize Premier League experienced players like they did with Cunha and Bumo, because Premier League players will settle down quite quickly compared to a foreign-based player. So you look at those names on that list, it makes sense to go for PL-proven players. Ullmann is good. He's a really, really good midfielder. And I don't think he would come to the Premier League and take time to settle. But based on what Jason Wilcox, Christopher Vivell, Berada want to do, they want to go fast for Premier League proven players. So it's low risk, high return. Hullman will be high risk. It will be a high risk signing. It's like Sheshko. Sheshko was a high risk signing. He has taken a lot of time to adapt to the Premier League. Sheshko has taken a lot of time. If you look at Cunha and Mbumo, they took a very short time to settle in and they started performing. Right now, Mbumo is not performing. He was the one who was performing earlier in the season. Cunha wasn't. Cunha now is the one performing. Mbumo is having a bad run of form. And you see both of them are still giving results. So Cunha struggled to settle in. Mbumo settled in quite quickly. He's having a poor run of form. Now it has flipped. Cunha is the one having a good run of form. He's scoring goals. He's providing assists. He's giving defenders headaches. Mbumo is not. But Mbumo, the run of form is due to him being asked to play out of position. But if Mbumo was consistently playing on that right wing, and then Sheshko was firing, then we would say it's a good return. But both Cunha, Mbumo, low risk, high return. You look at Lamens, that was high risk, and we've had high returns. So the thing about PL proven players, there's some sort of a guarantee that they will start performing straight away. If you go for a foreign-based player, they'll need some time to acclimatize, to get used to the PL and the physicality in it. Like right now, I expect Sheshko to be scoring goals. The remaining 8 games, I'm sure Sheshko will score about 4 or 5 goals because he's now settled in. But it has taken him 30 games, 25 games, more or less, to settle down. You look at Hoyland. Hoyland was a very good, young, exciting forward, but he took a lot of time to settle down at United. It took a very long time. Ugarte is not a proper midfielder. He is so mid. Personally, he could help us be a better team. Yeah, Ugarte is a good player. It's just that he's been unlucky. He was bought by the club. He was not Eric Ten Hag's choice. He was bought by the club for the project. Ugarte was among the first players to be bought by the Ineos group as part of the rebuild project. Him, Delict, Mazraoui, Zakzi, they were club signings, not necessarily Eric Ten Hag signings. Eric Ten Hag did not fancy him. Then Amorim came, did not fancy him. Then now Carrick did not fancy him. And Ugarte, number 2, Ugarte is the sort of player who needs a run of games. Number 3, lastly, I'm having short comments on it because I've spoken about it at length previously. Ugarte needs to be paired with the right midfielder. Ugarte is a destroyer. He's a pure CDM. So pair him with a good box-to-box, a good athletic box-to-box. For example, I believe if you pair Ugarte with someone like Tonali or you pair Ugarte with someone like Elliot Anderson, we will see the best out of Ugarte. Similar case with Kobe. If you pair Kobe with a very good athletic CDM, then we would see the best out of Kobe. But the problem, another problem, point number 4 I mentioned is the way United midfielders are asked to play, they are asked to do a lot. You look at other teams, they are set up in such a way that the wingers come back to midfield to provide that cover. But United are set up in more or less a counter-attack sort of setup. Amorim tried, Eric Ten Hag tried to have a sort of setup where the wingers come in. The wingers come in to provide that cover for midfielders so that they don't cover a lot of ground. But you look at how United are playing right now. You will find there are a couple of instances when you watch games, you find Kobe and Casemiro on the same side of the pitch. No one is in the center covering. Actually, there was one game we did a watch along. I can't remember the Newcastle game, actually. There was a time the center circle of the pitch, it was only Newcastle players. Kobe and Casemiro had gone on one side to try to tackle. So there is no one in the center to cover. The reason as to why you find Casemiro struggles and gets to quickly is because he's everywhere. He's running everywhere. He's trying to cover ground. He's trying to cover spaces. You know? Ugarte is athletic. Ugarte is a good tackler. So when he goes out to tackle, someone needs to cover him. Also, the wingers, Cunha and Mbumo, they need to drop. They need to cave in a bit to provide cover. The longest distance is through the wings. By the time the ball goes to the wings, the winger goes out, the fullback goes out, the center back can step out, and now the midfielders drop deep to become the center backs. You saw at one time Kobe and Casemiro, they were playing as center backs. In fact, in that Aston Villa game, there was one block that Casemiro had. Why? Because Yoro had stepped out, Maguire had stepped out towards the low side. Then Casemiro dropped in to become a center back, a CB. So that's how football should be played. I'm not saying I'm a coach or I understand a lot of tactics, but if you look at how other teams play, how other coaches set up, that's how what they do. You look at Rodri. Rodri is always on top of defenders. Sometimes he even plays as the last man, and then he's flanked by the centre backs, so it becomes a back three. You look at also Arsenal. There is a time the fullbacks will go up front. They go to attack. Declan Rice goes up, but Zubimendi is the one that's sticking back. Now it becomes a back three. But with United, Kobe has gone to one side. Casemiro follows him, or Casemiro goes, Kobe follows him. Bruno goes to that side. Mbumo goes to that side. Cunha. So it's concentrated on one side. You look at the other wing, you look at the back, there are spaces. It's basically a structural and tactical issue. Yeah. So thanks, guys. It's been a wonderful show. I have enjoyed it. We've done 1 hour 30. I've enjoyed it. So tonight we are going to have the watch along. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you also go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Also on TikTok, make sure you follow us on TikTok, Kick, Twitch. Make sure you follow us. Guys on X, thanks for tuning in. Guys on Facebook, thanks for following through. I really appreciate you. We'll have an episode 2 of the game. I've enjoyed the show. So until later tonight, guys, see you and bye-bye.